2 examples, and then we'll split up. As long as you haven't lost the privilege.
We won't lose it.
Isn't that the slope? Oh, never mind. This is something different.
Similar, but since it's a square, we can't say that it works like a line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I forgot.
Similar, right? Okay, I want you guys to start with, that's a good idea. Why, Tyler? Why should we put 6 and 3 in our table?
I need a button my butt.
Okay, if you look at the fraction, you see the over 3, and so Tyler's trying to help us out by saying, you know what, I don't think that we should do 1 and 2 this time. He's saying he thinks we should do 3 and 6. That's a good idea.
Good job, Tyler.
So what do you think we should do on the other side? -6 and -3. Now, kiddos, this equation is a little bit harder than the ones we saw yesterday because not only is there an A, but there's also a C. Does that make sense?
Why you can use -2 and -1.
When we divide by a fraction. Okay. So then, I want you guys to go ahead and be very, very careful, Jazzy, when you plug in. Be very, very careful when you plug in. This can be challenging for all of us. If x equals -6, that's where we start. I'm going to do 1 with you and see if you guys can finish the table perfectly. We're going to write, hold on. Where's the x that we're supposed to plug into?
The x squared.
It's right here, right? Put little parentheses. You guys ready plugging in? Okay. -6 squared minus 2. PEMDAS. If you guys are understanding it, that's great. Be quiet. The rest of you guys are asking some questions. PEMDAS says, what part of that -1/3 times -6 squared minus 2 should we do first?
-6 squared.
Exponents. So we're going to do -1/3 times, what's -6 times -6? A positive 36. Now, PEMDAS says, do we multiply next or subtract next?
I dropped my
Multiply, but we need an over 1, like I think Nevaeh was you yesterday. Whenever we multiply fractions, we need an over 1. If we multiply across, we'll end up with -36 over 3.
Which is 12.
And some of you guys can see to simplify that to be -12. Now, what is -12 minus 2?
Oh, this is easy.
Okay. If anybody has their table done, I want to see it, but otherwise keep filling in the table. If anybody has their table done, I want to see it.
I need a
Otherwise,
calculator.
Wait, I think I messed up the second one.
double check.
Steve, can I run a question, please?
Not right now.
Wait, no, I didn't.
Calculator.
Good. What was your second number, Jay?
1.
No, off.
What?
Oh, off.
No. -3 times -3 is positive 9, right?
Yeah.
-1 of 9 is
1/3 of 36 is 12.
Oh, minus 2.
Whoa.
You stupid.
It's -5.
Watch them.
What did you say?
I said you're stupid.
Don't drop that dirt.
Don't drop that dirt.
-14.
Why is it? It's not that funny.
It really is.
Jay.
Josh.
Oh, no, you did it.
You need to like either put something on demand soon.
That's a knee slapper.
I got 14 and 5.
Kiwi.
Yes.
That's a knee slapper.
Knee slipper?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Alright, kiddos, let's see what you got. So when you plugged in -3, final answer? -5,
Let's
I
go.
agree.
Yeah!
-2, then -5, then -14.
Go! Yes.
Wait, why'd you? Oh.
Now, if anybody made a mistake on that, we'll talk about those mistakes in a second.
I thought it was always 0. That's why I put 0.
Not always.
Don't
We'll talk about it
drop
after
that
we
dun
split,
dun.
okay? Focus on it. Tyler. Here we go. So when we go to graph, kiddos, we see obviously that it's moved a little bit, right? Josh, you're staying in your seat today, okay?
Oh, okay.
So then we have -3, -5, we have +3, -5, and if we were to do -6 to be -14, you guys see it would be like way down here somewhere? Way down here somewhere? Now, this is enough to get us a graph of our parabola. It's gonna be, well, hold on. Do you guys see how at the very bottom I have compared to x squared and some space for us to write the comparison? So let's look at this graph and let's ask ourselves the question, based on the function up above, which, remind me real quick, the function was -1/3
Yeah.
x squared.
-2.
Okay, let's look at these special numbers. There's A and there's C with the minus. And I want you guys to describe with me, well, basically, you know those fill-ins that we did? Let's kind of give the fill-ins that apply to this graph. So first of all, what can we say about the concavity?
It's concave down.
Because
The negative.
of the negative in the front. So we could say concave down.
It's wider because it is less than 1.
Good. We could say it's wider, and if you want to be super snazzy, you could say a vertical shrink by a factor of 1/3. Because when you shrink a rubber band, it's going to get wider.
We're gonna have to say that on test.
And
I will take wider or vertical shrink. Alan, both are just as good for me right now.
then it's a vertical translation. Oh, was it?
We can say it shifted what?
Oh.
Down to.
Hey, Miles. Miles, I know.
Okay. All right. Thanks, bud. Thanks for the message. I'll see you later. All right. So we have concave down. We have wider. We have shift down. Snazzy math terms. We have a vertical shrink by a factor of 1/3. We have a vertical flip or reflection, and we have a translation down too.
Oh.
But guys, these words are just great for me. Okay?
Okay.
So do you see how there was a stretch, actually a shrink that made it wider? There was a shrink and there was a shift and there was a reflection. Lot going on.
Yep.
Lot going on. Now we're going to do another example in a second for a few of you, but I really just want to do one more example until I let some of you go in the back, and it'll take like 2 minutes. Angel, not yet. Let's wait until we switch, okay? To find the zeros of the function, you guys just wrote down a clue for that. Go look at the wording. What did we fill in when we said find the zeros? Good.
Solve using factoring.
We need to make, that's our action step. We need to set f of x equal to 0. Okay? Take f of x and put 0 in the spot. We have 0 equals -8x squared plus 98. We have 0 equals -8x squared plus 98. Now, that's good, we've done step 1. To make the zeros or to find the zeros, we set equal to 0, but what else did we say in those steps? Factor. Ugh. Hold on. Look out for the GCF. Is anything shared?
2.
Good. If the first sign is negative, that thing is impaired. What do we do with that negative?
Distributed.
Okay. So we're gonna not only pull out a negative, but we're also gonna pull out a 2. You guys see it?
Yes.
Wait, where'd you get the two
We're
from?
trying to factor.
Because everything factors.
Both of these numbers are even, so 2 goes into both of them. So, if we pull out a negative from the 8x squared, if you guys want, we could do it step by step and just pull out the negative. The signs
49.
flip. And then some of you already started taking out the 2 as well. 8 divided by 2 is 4.
4x
98 divided by 2, someone help?
49.
49. The zero's just chilling over there until we can finish our problem. What do you notice about 4 and 49? How are they both special?
4.
They're not
7.
special at all.
They are special, they're perfect.
Squares.
Squares.
Oh, it's 2 and
7 and
7.
7.
2 and 7.
Perfect.
So we can say
I hate
the
factoring.
signs they must change,
So I'm
So
gonna
it's
make a
2x
and we have 2x and 2x make 4x squared,
and
6 plus 7.
and we have 7 and 7 make 49.
Yep.
Now, once again, remember my kiddos that are doing this problem, we chose a hard one before we split off, then we had a couple easy ones at the end of class. The very last step.
should be.
Tyler, you're making a boost for yourself. Set f of x equal to 0, check. Factor, check. Last step, solve. How?
That's
Zero.
Set
Everything
one
equals to
equal
zero.
to 0.
Wait,
Seven over two.
Yep.
Now wait, can -2 equal 0?
No, you had to add it.
Forget that, doesn't work. -2 can't be 0, they're two different numbers. Nothing came from that front one. However, this one, can algebra allow me, by moving the 7 to the other side,
Yep.
Negative.
to solve for an answer?
7 over 2.
-7/8.
And the answer
And
is
the next one's
yes.
7 over 2.
The other one, since the signs are opposite,
X equals 7 over 2.
yeah, some of you already know the pattern. We get 2x equals 7, divide by 2, divide by 2.
X equals 7 over 2.
So it doesn't matter what order I took, you have to positive first and then what matters?
No. Either way, you'd have the same two answers at the end.
Okay.
Kiddos that got A's or B's, if you have no further questions, put your homework with the young son, and then you can start working on homework in the back. But you must move in the back to do so, only those that have A's and B's. Everybody else? Let's go over those homework questions real quick.
Put a line on my
If
teeth.
you're moving, move in the next 10 seconds. 10, 9,
Can I move?
8,
Go, Justin, go!
7, 6,
Use those soccer.
Don't be silent, stop rolling all our faces. Oh, you got A. I got a smiling D.
3, 2. Jordan, you're gonna move again.
got one.
I did 2 questions.
So remember, you're not moving today.
Yeah, no, I
Oh, the brain dead guys.
All right, Alan. The kiddos that are here in front of me, we're just gonna look at 3 homework questions real fast and do 1 or 2 simpler examples. Jane, don't talk to me. Okay, 4, 19, and 29. Let's check out homework real fast, and then you guys are gonna turn it in. That's not the right one. There we go. Okay, number 4. Am I in the wrong section? I'm in the
Yeah,
wrong section.
Yeah, 8.2.
Struggle, huh? Don't worry, I got this.
Oops, I did it.
Josh. Okay, here we go. Number 4, you guys were being asked, let me get it up real fast, and here we go. All right. Number 4 says compared to the graph after graphing. Josh, can you help me out real quick? What was your specific question?
Mine was 19 and 29.
Okay. The person that had a question on number 4, how we go about and solve it? Kaylee, start working. No talking. Barry, don't distract. For number 4, guys, what table would we have made in order to try to solve this?
Chart.
We would have made our chart. We would have put our x and then our f of x, right?
Yeah.
Should go ahead and pull this up real fast. All right, in our homework, it goes ahead and says to graph x squared plus 8, true? Wouldn't we have made a table, kiddos, on number 4? And with our table, shouldn't we have gone ahead and had our x and, what is it, h of x? In number 4? What values do you think I should have put in that table if our function was,
We could put, what was it?
-1 or -2, -1.
yeah, we could, there's no fractions, we could just do -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and plug it in, right?
Or we could have like 4, 2, 0.
Chug it to that.
So with our -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, plugging into our function, my guys that have it written down, because everyone should, it was x squared minus 8 or plus 8? Plus. Minus, I have 2 different ones.
Do we have to do tables?
We're getting to where we don't have to, that's the next section, hang on, this. Was it plus or minus? Ava and Ian, you had said 2 different things. Plus?
It's plus 8.
So then when we go ahead and plug and chug, long story short, if we put in that -2 squaring it plus 8, a negative times a negative is a positive, we're going to end up with a 12. We fill in our table. It's not showing at all, is it? Come on, silly thing.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
There you go.
We plug it in, And what are we supposed to do with each of these points? Graph them. My question to you guys is what is the comparison for this one? Look at the equation. What does that plus 8 mean?
Oh, it's gonna be plus 8 for the 0 first. Oh, we're doing -1.
Guys, what does C mean if you have a plus 8 on the outside?
It's positive, I just see.
It's positive, so it is concave up. That's good. If we compare to x squared, we could say concave up. Couldn't we also say a shift up what?
Shift up.
Right? So I'm not going through the whole problem because you make a table, you need to go ahead and plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Find each of them on a graph off to the side. You're going to put each of those points by going -2 and by going up to 12, wherever that may be. And you're going to end up seeing a parabola that basically is shifted up a little bit. Actually, should be shifted up a lot more than that. Shifted up a bit, but it's not wider or narrower because A is just 1. Okay? Another homework question that we had were the ones that Josh had, which was numbers 19 and 29.
Yeah.
So then checking out that one really fast. My orientation could work for minutes.
It was y equals x squared.
19 says find the zeros, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we just did this.
You just plug in
So
0.
let's double check
This is
real
x
quick.
equals 1 and x equals -1.
Yeah, why does x equal 1 and -1 though?
Because it's like 1 like
Wouldn't we set this equal to 0 like the steps say?
Yeah.
And then if we go to factor, isn't this an x plus 1 and an x minus 1?
Yeah.
And we would take x plus 1 and x minus 1 and we would set each one equal to 0.
Yeah, and then you could just factor it and you go x equals 1.
Yeah, you could solve it real quick and x is going to equal positive 1 and negative 1.
Oh.
X is going to equal positive 1 and negative 1.
Yeah.
It's the method to solving. So you would go ahead and you would subtract the 1, you would subtract the 1, you would add the 1, you would add the 1. X equals 1, x equals -1. And then last but not least, number 29.
It says,
It was a creative one, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
hey, figure out the
Yeah, she
picture.
attempted it, so.
Yeah, I was just kind of seeing if you could figure out the graph. So then coming over here,
I think concave up.
good, opens upward means concave up. And the vertex, shouldn't we graph this point of 0, 1, and a 2, and a 3?
Yes.
to the second plus 3.
You don't even have to do an equation, actually.
Yeah.
But you could say x squared plus 3. All we need to do is put this point where they said and say, whatever, whoever this guy is, I'm running out of room, he's concave up. That's it. I
Okay.
did one. He's concave up and he's up
I was
here.
just confused on how to do it.
Yeah, it was kind of like they only gave you a certain number of clues, and you just did the best you could with it in a graph.
Can I,
All right. Kiddos, I'm going to go ahead and collect homework from you at the end of class. I do want us to do one more example together before class is over.
Let's do like 6. Let's do
So-
like 6.
Which one seems scarier to you guys? Graph with a table or finding 0? Okay. So this is our last
Find
example
zero.
for today.
Zeros is like easier.
Yeah,
As long as you, bless you, remember how to
bless
factor.
you. The zeros are way easier.
Thank you.
As long as you remember how to factor.
I think this is way easier.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah.
I think the zeros are kind of
Didn't
harder.
we do this example?
We did one like it.
Oh.
Could we
Was it
just,
where it was like x squared?
Maybe we should do the zeros because they're faster. Does that sound okay?
yeah,
Alright.
way so.
Let's do zeros
That's
instead.
easy
That
though.
was practice.
5.
Oh, let's practice the 0.
That's
Five and
-5
5.
and 0 and 5 and 0.
What'd you do though?
Go fast, please.
Set everybody equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
Look at the first term, it's negative. Ah, that thing's impaired. Pull out the negative, both the signs flip. Now, Alan, I love how you figured out the 5 and -5. What would the factors be that got you there?
X.
25.
Factor 25, which is 5 squared.
Yeah.
And then Caleb, you're trying to tell me, what are they?
X plus 5. X equals -5.
Now, hold on. We have to still solve for them. Some of you can kind of see the answers that are in there, but we would technically, to solve, set each one equal to 0. Split them apart.
Just set them to 0.
And at the end of the day, I'm just going to do a dot, dot, dot. You do get -5 and +5.
I have a question.
But letter B is a little bit harder. Caleb, go ahead.
So we don't do anything for the negative, like we just forget about it, because it's outside.
You kind of can, yeah. You can just forget about it. You could also do, kiddos in the front, go ahead and stay with me for one more minute. You could technically do like -1 equals 0. The rest of you guys, make sure you take a picture in the back of the homework. But that one doesn't really get us an answer. Kiddos in the front, I'm not going to make you solve the second problem, but I do have a question for you. How would you start solving if you need to?
Factor it.
How? They're not perfect squares.
So you don't do anything then?
Factor out the GCF. Is anything shared?
No,
Two.
Doesn't 2 go into both?
Yeah.
2 times 25 and 2 times
How does that make things better?
Start breaking it down.
Now they're perfect squares.
Yeah.
So now we can do 3x plus 5, 3x minus 5.
Then you divide it out.
Do you guys see what we would do? We would try 2 equals 0 and we'd say no. Do you guys see how maybe if you couldn't do this one in your head so good? You might have to write this one out, and you might need to solve each of these 2 equations piece by piece. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Kiddos, let me go ahead and show you homework. I want you to take a picture of it.
Alright, so I'm slowly getting it now.
Take a picture of homework. Do tomorrow. You guys
It's
can
easy.
see. If you didn't turn in homework, turn it in to me right now.
I already turned it into the guy in the back.
It might be half a point. It might be a point. How come? Did I find a silly mistake?
Yeah, but.
Can I turn it in?
Let's just say today you were super close.
Miss D, I don't know what that's weird. I don't know.
As long as you don't forget.
I already turned it into
This is my first question.
Thanks, Alex.
Alright, let's have a play from that.
I'll take homework. Make sure you turn it in before you leave.
I have it.
Oh, that's what I'm supposed to.
Okay, come get it from me after school, Luke. So I need to look at your grade on Red Web. Don't forget. Thanks. Okay, Aiden, real quick. When you sneeze, so I need you just to sneeze it out. Okay.
Sorry.
But I'm sorry you're sick. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Hang in there, buddy. I know, kid. Hold on, come right back. Aiden, if you see Jordan, I forgot to give her a note. Just for Mrs. Pratt.
Thanks. 没有啊，贝尔也没吃过，我一个朋友。